Good morning, everyone. Lovely, of course, to be here in Vietnam. I've been coming to Vietnam for nearly 30 years, and I think I've probably seen the changes more than you have. You've seen the changes gradually, but each time I come, it's something new, something exciting happening. So it's always lovely to be here and see those changes and see how much Vietnam, or Ho Chi Minh particularly, has changed since those early days. I remember when we sat down to do a budget, I think it was back in 1994 or 95, just estimating how big the market would be. And we thought, well, maybe one day the whole market will get to something like $15 million. And then we're thinking, oh, that's a long way off. But of course, as I think most of you know, the market size now is something like 100 million and growing rapidly. So that's, of course, one of the extreme changes that we've seen over that time. Lovely to see a lot of my old friends, and I shouldn't call them old friends, they're friends from the old days. Some very close friends here, so lovely to see you all. Now, I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking a little bit about ESMAR. I think we have something like 20 members of ESMAR in Vietnam. But of course, there's obviously a lot more than 20 people here today, so I'm assuming you're all friends of ESMAR members, so congratulations and thank you for coming along. I'll say a little bit about ESMAR. ESMAR, as you can see, we say it's a truly global association for the market research profession. And I like to talk about it like I talk about a mother. A mother is somebody that nurtures a child and looks after the child, makes sure they're safe. And ESMAR is a little bit like that. On the one hand, our role is to encourage market research, encourage market researchers, encourage the profession. And on the other hand, we also, through our code of conduct, make sure that we're protected. And that's a very important part of the role of ESMAR globally. In each country, there's usually a market research association. And that association sort of not reports to ESMAR, but works closely with ESMAR. So ESMAR is at the global level, and the local market research association at the local level. So at the moment, I think we don't actually have an official association here in Vietnam. We're working on it, I think. Richard? So that's the overall view of ESMAR. So what else does ESMAR do? Down on the right there, you can see roughly the sorts of things that ESMAR is involved in. Now, partnership, I mentioned partnership. So we usually have a partnership between the global level and the local level. So working closely, helping the Market Research Association or the market research industry in each country. We usually have a local ESMAR representative, and that, as you know, is Richard. Thank you, Richard, for all the work you've done, and thank you very much for this show, which we gave you very, very short notice. So I'm just amazed that you were able to pull together 100-odd people for this event. So talking about local events is the next word. ESMAR runs events like this in each country. So I've had 7 or 8 of these over the last 2 or 3 months around Asia Pacific. And the idea of that is to talk about the mother, on the one hand, to help educate and to bring new ideas of market research into each country. Boot camps, yes, we do training, that's sort of on a request basis. And talk about conferences. We do a major conference in Asia each year and at the global level. ESMAR, that's encouraging young people into our industry. Now, in most countries actually, when I look at the audience, they look like me. with old hair. At least come to Vietnam, and apart from a few grey-haired people down here, I've seen nice black hair. Everybody is fairly young, so getting young people in Vietnam, I think, is not such a problem. But in most other countries, we're really struggling to get young people into the market and to keep them working in market research. So ESMAR providing a knowledge-based knowledge, talk a little bit more about that later, and thought leadership, and if you want speakers, we can often supply speakers. Now, two big things that ESMAR is involved with, in particular for the ESMAR Code of Conduct. Now, every profession, whether it's an engineer or lawyers or the medical profession, they have their code of conduct. And ESMAR has a code of conduct which we try to follow at a global level. And this code of conduct sort of gives clients in particular confidence that we are doing our market research ethically and properly. So if you're an ESMAR member, the clients see that you are an ESMAR member, they will be encouraged that you're doing the work professionally and correctly. So it's very important to have that ESMAR mark or membership. So the Code of Conduct has been going for 70 odd years. And there were not many professions that set up a Code of Conduct and have been more or less professionally run at that level for as long as 70 years. The other big thing is at the moment, we've all heard of the GDPR. This is driving everybody crazy. The ESMAR has people in Belgium working with the European Union to make sure that the GDPR, if you're not aware of that, the Data Protection Act, doesn't kill our industry, because the bureaucrats in Belgium are trying to make the data protection so strong that it almost kills our data collection. So ESMAR is working very closely with the Brussels people to make sure our industry is protected. Just a few things, particularly at the global level, at conferences, we're trying very closely to work with startup companies. So, for example, we have what we call research rallies, where we have fun, bring in a startup company, set them in a room with some young market researchers, see what the problem is for the startup company, and try and help solve their business issues. So it's a good way of getting close to a lot of the startups that are around these days. Also, most of the ESMAR members in the past have been suppliers of market research. Increasingly now, the client side is coming in much stronger. So there's a lot of effort now being put into working with clients, making sure that they're able to work with the supply side. ESMAR has an extraordinary resource library, which is all online. There's something like 12,000 papers and videos available to members. So for example, all conferences, major conferences, the speakers are videoed, and those videos are available. So there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, or thousands, of different videos that you can have access to, and these are all absolutely high quality. If you want to see a particular speaker, particular subject, if you're a member, you can go into those. So, enormous library there available. So, just in summary, these are some of the benefits of being a member. All the networking today, the global level, regional level, you can also network. There's a lot of access to the tools within ESMAR, and the know-how through workshops and events like today. And most importantly, say it's the recognition. If you are an ESMAR member, the client will have a lot more confidence in working with you. and you working, or the suppliers working with clients as well. Now, I didn't know this slide was coming up. Richard has snuck it in at the last minute. He's really hard sell. I'm a lot softer. I'm talking to, oops, it's already gone off. So Richard is going to be collecting checks from you at the end of the day, or end of the event. So no, just saying, it's not that expensive to become an ESMAR member and have all of that access that I've just talked about.